So welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to today's interesting section. Welcome everyone to today's interesting section. So let's start joining as we go live in today's interesting and wonderful section. I'm waiting for others to actually connect live with us so that we can begin today's interesting and wonderful section, waiting for others to actually connect live with us so that we can begin today's interesting and wonderful section. So please let's start joining as we go live in today's interesting section. So welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Please, if you're just joining us for the first time, please you can just comment on the chat box to show that you are online with us and ready to ride on with what we're about to talk about in today's interesting and wonderful section as we move ahead. So first of all, we're looking at a Bitcoin market. We'll be looking at what is actually happening in the Bitcoin market. Then after that, we'll go ahead to look into after looking at what is actually happening in the Bitcoin market, we will go ahead to look into basic into what do we understand by the risks in the understanding the risks in the crypto arc and other. All those points are actually what we'll be looking at in the course of today's section. So waiting for others to actually join us live so that we can go live in today's interesting section, waiting for others to actually connect live so that we can begin today's interesting and wonderful section as we move ahead in the course of today's interesting discussion, waiting for others to actually connect live with us so that we can move ahead in the course of today's section. Please, if you have any question along the way, you are free to ask on the chat box in which justice will be done as we move ahead in the course of today's session, waiting for others to connect live so that wherever we have a question, please you are able to ask on the chat box in which justice is going to be done. Now, looking at the Bitcoin market, looking at what is currently trending in the Bitcoin market, what is one point that we need to take, what is one point that's actually very important that we need to take note of when looking at the Bitcoin market, looking at how the market is trending, looking at the movement of the market, and all those factors are factors that we need to actually take note of when looking at the market, when looking at the trend in the market, how the market is moving, and all those factors are actually very important that we need to understand when looking at the market and so what is our prediction about the market? Yes, you notice that yesterday the market actually, like I in my section yesterday, I actually predicted the movement of the market, how we expect the market to actually move, and it's actually moved the way we actually predicted it right now. And you can see currently we can actually see the market where it's out currently as right now. You can see the area in which we have the market currently right now around 26,000 thereabouts area. That was what I actually predicted the market coming to yesterday in my section yesterday. So we're actually expecting, we said that if it can actually come down up to this, you can even see the wind that actually came down up to that extent, and we're actually really expecting a move in the market in coming days to come. So all these factors are actually very important that we need to take note of when looking at the market or when trying to study the market. When looking at the market, what are the various factors we need to consider when looking at the market and all that? Now, looking at it, what is our area? What is one point that we need to take note of when looking at the Bitcoin market? What is one point that we need to focus on when looking at the Bitcoin market? How the Bitcoin market is moving, the areas in which we need to now remember. I said that if it can actually come down up to just 26 there about, then we might likely still going to see a push in the market to around maybe the push will come up based on my movement here. Now if it can, since it came down up to this area here, in the market and others. So we're actually still expecting a move from this area to around maybe 28 thereabout, passing this line up to 28 thereabout in the market. So all these points are actually, this is my own view about how the market still breaking since still breaking this line. Breaking this line, I'm actually looking at it breaking this line in coming days to come. So all these points are actually very, very important that we need to take note of when looking at the market, when looking at how the market is going, what are the points, what areas do we need to take note of when looking at the market itself. It is very, very important. It is very, very important that we take note of all these factors when talking about the market. What is the market doing? What are the areas in which we need to take control of the market? And that is very, very important that we take note of all those points. All those points are actually very, very important that we need to take note of when looking at the market. We're trying to get a way out on what the market is saying, how we can actually take control of the market and order. Now, looking at the Bitcoin price and order, you can see it's actually back to actually where it was and where it was in the market and order, which was around 26,000 thereabouts and order. Now, we can actually see the market still now. The market could actually start. The market has actually start a kind of a fresh decline from around 26,500 to 22,000, right? 26,200 level. It has actually moved to 26,000 41.9% when looking at thousand when looking at the market and order. So now this key bearish period now is just a sign that okay, this is what's actually currently going on in the market. What are the area of movement when looking at the market and order? It is very, very important that we understand all those factors are actually very, very important when looking at the market and movement and what the market is saying. How can we actually take control of the market when looking at it on the real sense? And now you can see from this area here, you can see the movement of the market from this area here. You can see the movement of the market from this area. Let me change this to green. Now you can see the movement of the market. Now from this area here, you can see from this area, let me change this to red. Let me change this to red. Now you can see the market here, looking at the area here from this area here. You can see the movement. You can see the movement that we have here. So now, looking at what do we notice here from the market? What is one point that we notice here when looking at the market himself? Another, you can see now, it's actually trying to find a way of actually moving. It's actually trying to find a way of movement in the market. That is what we notice here in the market. And now, seeing the market here, is this a sign of a fresh decline in the market in coming days to come? Is this a sign? Are we likely still going to see around 25 thereabouts? Because now looking at where the market is currently now, does this mean that we are likely going to see the market moving up to 25 thereabouts in the market? Well, let's see how the market goes. Let's see how the market goes. It's very, very important that we understand all those factors when talking about the movement of the market. What is the market really all about? How can we actually take control of the market? All those points are actually very, very important that we need to take note of when studying the market or when trying to get areas of movements in the market. Is very, very important that we understand all those factors. All those factors are actually very, very important that we need to take note of. Now you can see the movement of the market. You can see this area here, and now, so are we still expecting the market to come down? If I bring it here up to 25,000 thereabouts in this area here in the market, so are we likely still going to see this in coming days to come in the market? Well, let's see how the market goes. Let's see how the market will actually go when looking at the market movement and all that. So now, what are the factors that actually cause all this movement? Now remember, one thing we're actually talking about is the news surrounding the market and all that. The news surrounding the market, what is actually happening in the market, and all that. The news actually has a factor to play when looking at the market. Now, if Bitcoin actually dropped to around when Bitcoin, even though if we see Bitcoin actually dropping down to 25,000 thereabout, 25,900 thereabout, and all that. Now it actually loses almost 100 and 100 and $1,341 when looking at the market of when looking at the previous close of the market and all that. So all these points are actually very important that we need to take note of, that we need to understand when looking at the market movement, what is actually happening in the market, how can we actually take control of the market when looking at it. It is very important that we understand all these factors when looking at the Bitcoin market and other. Now, looking at the Bitcoin market, now could this actually, based on what we could now, could we actually see a decline towards 24,000 in coming days to come? Now, looking at what is actually happening now, we have to understand that the key bearish line is forming resistance near 29,000, near 26,000 thereabouts in the hourly. When talking about the market movement and other, that is what we can actually see. You can see the movement of the market around trying to come a form of a resistance in the market around 26,750 in the market. 26,750 is actually trying to form a resistance around this area here. 26,007 is actually trying to form a resistance around this area here. That is what we need to, that is what we can notice around this area here in the market. So it is very important that we understand all those factors, all those factors, market movement and all that. It is so that, are we actually still seeing the market coming down? Are we actually seeing the market still coming down up to this area? Well, let's see how this week we go and other. Well, we're actually still seeing the market still coming down. Likely, probably it will get to this area here, and also we'll see a movement in the market. But I know at this bearish period that we're actually noticing, it won't last, because we're actually coming to the end of the year, of this month, and the year is gradually coming to a close and other. But when looking at the market movement, looking at this area here, it won't last. This bearish movement that we are noticing here won't actually last. It won't stay in the market for a very long period, or it won't actually stay in the market for a very long period of time. So it is very important that we understand. So right now, if looking at the market, if you say, okay, the what time is the right time to actually go into the market, what time is the right time for we to actually look into the market? Now is actually the right time for you to actually look into the market, to actually see the market. Now we can see the Bitcoin actually fails to climb above. Now yesterday, if you remember my yesterday's section, I was saying that the Bitcoin market, were actually, if the Bitcoin market actually climbs above 27,000 resistance zone, then we can actually going to see a push in the market. But we notice that the market actually falls kind of trying to gain a momentum around 26,500, which actually caused the bearish market that we are currently noticing in the market. So it is very important that we take note of. All those factors are actually very important that we need to take note of when looking at the market, when talking about how the market is moving. What are the areas of, what area do we need to understand when looking at the market and other? What areas do we need to understand when looking at the market area and other? And one point we need to know now, let me bring this up. Now, looking at this in the market, what do we notice in the market? Now you can see that all the sign here is a form of a buy. You can see the space. There was a lot of space. There's kind of a space here, and right now looking at it here, that means there was no decision really made in the market, and that you can see it here. You can see now there's a lot of buy and all that in the market. And also now you can see that investors, now there's kind of, based on what you can notice they are trying to take caution of the market. So there was less selling and there was more buying in the market. That is what we need to take note of, what is currently happening in the market currently. So all these factors are actually very important that we need to take note of when looking at the market, or when trying to understand how the market is going. All the various points that we need to actually take note of when looking at the market movement, and that it is very important that we take note of all those factors when studying the market, or when trying to get a way out to actually understand the movement of the market. What we need to take note of is how can we actually control the market as we keep pushing forward in the course of today's interesting section. So now looking at the Bitcoin market, now we can actually see the Bitcoin Bitcoin trying to start a fresh decline and gain a bearish momentum around 26,500 level in the market based on our chart here. That is what we need to note. That is one factor that we need to take note here based on how the market is moving and thereabout in the market and all that. So it is very, very important that we understand. It is very, very important that we understand all these factors. Now you can see there was actually a clear move below 26,200 level. There's actually a clear move below 26,200 level in the market, and the price even spiked below 26,000 in the market price and all that. And also a low form is near 26,000, 25,000. Now a lower form, when looking at the market, a lower movement is actually expected around 26,000. Let me check my charts again. 25,000, 25,600. You see, I've drawn the line here around this area here. It's actually expecting to come lower to this area here in the market. We're actually expecting it to come lower to this area here in the market. So this is very, very important that we understand all these factors. All these factors are actually very, very important that we need to take note of, that we need to focus on when looking at the market movement. What are the areas in which we need to understand when looking at the market? Well, remember that we're not just only talking about the Bitcoin market, we'll also be talking about the risks of ARC, or when we're talking about arcing in the market. We have different platforms that actually be arced and other. Now we'll actually be understanding the risks when it has to. We also be understanding we will also be understanding the risks that have the risks of crypto arc. When we talk about crypto arc and other, there's actually a lot of risks involved in the crypto arc and other, and we'll be looking at that in the course of this section as we keep moving forward. Immediately I'm done with this, that is actually the next one that we're actually going to be looking at in the course of today's session. Please, let's keep joining as we keep going live into the course of today's session. Please, along the way, if you have any question, if you have any suggestion whatsoever, you are free to ask on the chat box, in which justice is going to be done as we move ahead in the course of today's section. So one point that we need to know when looking at the market, now you can see that there is actually a clear move below 26. There's actually a clear move below 26,200 because the market is currently around 26,000 and 26,021 in the market level and other. Now the price even spiked below 26,000 level, and also a lower form around 25,663. And the price is now concentrating losses in the market. Now, Bitcoin market is trending out. It's actually trending. What we need to take note of it, or that you can see the movement of the market, and we're actually expected to still drop to around 25,663 in the market. So it is very, very important that we really understand all these factors. All these factors are actually very, very important that we need to take note of when looking at the market, or when trying to get a way area in the market movement. What are the points we need to take note of? How do we need to understand the market movement? And that is very, very important that we understand all these areas of movement are actually very, very important that we need to take note of when studying the market, or when trying to get an area in the market and all that. Now you can see beside there's actually a key bearish trend forming with the resistance near 26,700 and 750. Now immediately resistance on the upper side near 26,250. It's actually close to around 23.66% figment and other. Let me bring that out. Now you can see the market here. You can see this area here. You can see the movement of the market coming up to this area here, and right now is down. Is down up to this area here that we have here in the market. So, and this area, what is currently is below 50. It's actually below 50, and actually is around 35,000 35.63 86% at 5.86% when looking at the market movement and other. So it is very, very important that we understand all these factors are actually very, very important, that we need to understand, that we need to take note of when looking at the market movement. What is the market really talking about? How can we actually take control of the market? How we're looking at it, and all that. All those points are actually very, very important, that we need to actually, all those points are actually very, very important, that we need to actually take note of when looking at the market movement. What is actually happening in the market? How can we actually take control of the market when looking at it on the real sense? And that is very, very important, that we understand all those factors when talking about the market and all that. And also, one major resistance, like I said earlier, one of the major resistance, that is what you can see in my charts here. You can see this chart here that we have here. You can see the movement of the market here. You can see this chart. Let me bring it back again. Let's see something. Let's see what is actually happening in the market. Now you can see this chart here that we have here. Now you can see, what do you notice in this market? What is one area here that we notice? You can see the movement of the markets here. You can see the movement of the market that we have here in the market. You can see this area here. You can see this area here that we have here in the market. This is actually in a 4-hour hourly time frame. This is actually in a 4 hours hourly time frame. Now you can see the movement of the markets here area. You can see the area of the movement. Now you can see this area here. You can see what is actually happening in the market. You can see the movement of the market, and that it is very, very important that we understand all those factors are actually very, very important, that we need to actually take note of when studying the market, or when trying to get a way out on what is actually happening in the market. What are the points of what areas do we need to take note of when looking at the market and all that? It is very, very important that we understand all those factors. Now looking at it, now is there actually more losses coming to the market? Now if Bitcoin actually fails to clear the 66 and 26,007, which it's actually failed to actually clear, and we are currently seeing the effect that was now we're actually expecting the market to actually come down. Now we're actually expecting the market, the support to actually to come in down around 25,600 in 25,800 in the market. So we're actually expecting the market to actually still come down to around this area that we have here, which is 25,800 in the market, or 25,600 in the market, and all that. Is very, very important that we understand all these factors I'm actually talking about are actually very, very important, that we need to actually take note of when looking at the market, or when trying to study the market. What is the market really saying? How can we actually take control of the market when looking at it? Is very, very important that we understand all those factors when talking about the market and other. Now let's move ahead to talk about, we will actually still come back, and if you have any projects you want me to analyze, if you have any project you want me to predict and order to tell you, okay, this is what the market is saying, you can actually drop it on the chat box, so that I will see it and I will do justice to it as we keep moving ahead in the course of today's session. So let's move ahead to talk about the understanding the risks of crypto arc. What are the risks when it has to do with crypto arc? Let's go ahead to look into that in the course of today's interesting session. I believe you guys are actually enjoying today's section. Please if you're here to follow my profile and you're listening to me, please kindly follow my profile, so that whenever I'm live, you will be signified live and you miss out on any section as we keep moving ahead in the course of today's section. Now we'll actually be talking about how crypto gets hacked. Now I'll actually be looking at how crypto get hacked, and also how to store how storing your crypto is safer, in a safer place. How to actually store crypto in a safer place, and also choosing a reputable services. We're talking about storing your crypto, what you need to do, what are the different factors you need to do when storing your crypto assets and all that, and also what are the common sense and also physiology when it has to do with when it has to do with your crypto services, trying to store your crypto services and all that. All those points are actually very, very important that we need to take note of when talking about the market. Now, discovering the most common crypto hack and how to actually protect your asset from them, or how to actually protect your asset. Like for example, our platform, for example, how can you actually protect your platform from it being hacked? Have you done your second verification? Have you done your KYC? That is know your customer, that is of KYC. Have you done all this? Now, what wallet, what email address are you actually using to connect it? Is this something that is actually easy? Have you, even though in your email, have you done your second verification in your email? What actually do you need to do that will make you actually say, okay, this is what you need to do, this is how you need to actually go about it and other. So all these points are actually very, very important that we need to actually take note of when looking at the market and what we need to take note of them and all that. Now, the lack of regulation of regulatory a lack of regulatory oversight, and also a anonymous nature of crypto assets makes them the mainnet of for criminals and all that. Now, in addition to money laundering, ransomware scam are resulting to billions of dollars lost annually when it comes to the market and all that. For example, the arc of breach in 2002 and thereabout by exploiting the weakness of the protocol validation system to generate over 300 million dollars in wrap Ethereum to and convert it to Ethereum and also leave other protocol users less than a whole when looking at the market and all that. And also apart from that, also we have according to Times analyst in 2023 crypto reports, crypto-related crimes rose in second consecutive year and also hit the all-time high last year. Another criminal extorts at around when looking at the criminal at least 457 million dollars from ransom from some or exchanges and all that. Now we're actually going to be examining most of this crypto act and also how can you actually save your financial assets from it. Now crypto act involve attackers stealing your crypto assets without authorization. Now crypto hackers, what do we mean by crypto hackers? Now crypto hackers now involve hackers stealing your crypto without your authorization and that is one factor we need to, that is what crypto hack really is really all about. Crypto hacks involve hackers stealing your crypto assets without your authorization, because you never give hackers the authorization to come into your platform to actually steal your phone. So they actually on their own free will, they actually feel they just come into your platform, maybe they have your key or they had something that is related to you, they came into your platform and they steal your forms and they steal your funds and all that. So now it involves hackers stealing your crypto assets without or trying to get access to your account or get your account from you and other without your authorization. Now for example, they may steal your private keys. For example, they may actually go ahead in stealing your private key to access your wallet and transfer your crypto assets using all this. Now all these points are actually very, very important. Now for example, they may actually steal your private key to access your wallet and transfer your crypto assets, or use an exploit to break into the protocol and steal funds from thousands of users. So now they might actually target, now one thing about them is that one thing about these hackers is that they might actually target a single user or they will target the body in general. Now what do we mean by targeting a single user or targeting them actually targeting the whole body in general? Now one point is actually very, very important that we need to take note of, that we need to be very cautious when talking about crypto hackers, is that now they might actually steal your private key. Now your private key is actually one important factor. What do we mean by private key? Like maybe they might have access to your login email or to your login to your account or to your phrase key that you use to actually secure your account, and all these things they might actually have access to it, and it's actually going to be easy for them to hack and all that. But we need to be that is why we need to be actually careful. Or they might actually expect to actually break the protocol, that means the platform that you're actually using. Well, we don't actually because I believe that there's enough security in our platform that we're currently using. So now I don't actually see that actually really happening. But what I'm trying to talk about right now is that now hackers may actually have access to the protocol to say, okay, I want to hack into this platform, want to get deep access into this platform, and they tend to actually hack into the protocol or the platform and all that, and they steal thousands of users funds when talking about the market. And what are the common crypto hacks include? Now we have different kind of crypto hackers that we notice in the market over time, and one of them And one of those crypto hackers that we've noticed in the market over time, one factor that we need to notice is that now the bridge attack, we have what calls bridge attack. Now, cross bridge transfer, bridge cross bridge transfer cryptocurrency between blockchain, making them essential for blockchain interoperability. Now, when wrap token, they log the original as collateral, making them as a big target for attackers. Most attackers exploit private key to rapid this expose and explore other parts of the code to generate blocked wrap token that attackers can be redeemed and ordered. Trusted bridge rely on centralized authorities that may suspect the attack to attack. Now, while trustless bridge rely on smart contracts that may contain vulnerability in their code and all that. And we actually see that happen now. An example is that in 2002, in February 2002, a hacker took advantage of the vulnerability of the wall old bridge and let users to move crypto and NFT between blockchain. The vulnerability lets them meet 120,000 wrap of ETH token and redeem them for Ether and also altcoins. I know that is also one example of hacking and other. And also we have wallet jack hack and other, or wallet jack and other. When I'm talking about wallet hack and other, now you can say wallet are software programmers or hardware device that enable you to access and manage and control your cryptocurrency. Now this wallet, now you just like our platform now, is actually a kind of a platform that it actually enables you to have access to your funds. You can actually manage it. You can actually move your cryptocurrency, your asset from one place to another. So all these factors are actually very, very important that we need to actually take. All these factors are actually very, very important that we need to take note of when looking at the ecosystem. What are they really all about? How can we actually take control of the market when looking at it and other? It is very, very important that we take. Please, if you're listening to me and you're yet to follow my profile, please kindly do follow my profile so that we keep enjoying to this section as we keep moving ahead in the course of today. If you have any question whatsoever, you are free to ask on the chat box, in which justice is going to be done as we keep moving ahead in the course of today's section. So now, for instance, there have been countless ways to actually hack them and other. Now, for instance, a computer virus could enable an attackers to access a device with a hot wallet. A clever push of the kind of email or engineering attack might conclude or kind of convince you to transfer your funds to the wrong address unknowingly. Now, some of the most common attackers involve stealing locally stored passphrase and also apart from that, investing private key to key logs and other software and using the man in between attacks to intercept communication between software and decentralized server and others. And that is what we actually see FTS. Now FTS actually collapsed and others, and also hot wallet could actually have their funds drained in tune up to actually around $415 million. And also now the exchange actually stored their private key in unscripted wallet, now which may actually lead to an insider stealing them and running with the money when looking at the markets and others. So all these factors are actually factors that has to do when it comes to hacking and other. Also we have have exchange hacking. Now many crypto exchange holders or many crypto user hold, buy, sell and trade on centralized exchange, making them a natural target for attackers. Now in addition to bridge in addition to bridging exchange, hackers may want to exploit email social engineering attack to steal coin from the wallet and transfer them elsewhere. When you're talking about the market space, how do they actually go about the attacking? How do they actually go into the platform to actually attack to get funds and other? These are all important factors that we need to actually take note of. Now, apart from this, and also like even though looking at the market, looking at we have different from even though we are looking at the market and other how it's actually so it's actually has different way of actually affecting the market. So we have exchange attack, we have wallet attack, we have breach attack. So these are the three ways. These are the three ways in which hackers can actually come on board and actually hack your wallet and other. These are the common attack that we've actually noticed in the market space over time. And now how do we actually go about store your crypto in a safe place? What are the different ways in which you can actually store your crypto? That this crypto that we're actually talking about, what are the different ways that you are likely going to store this crypto in a safer place? Now, much users, most purchase crypto through exchange and other. Now, most users like our platform, for example. Now, most people actually use our platform to actually purchase to actually purchase their crypto and other. Now, when making deposits, this exchange may act as a custodian and hold crypto assets on your behalf. As a result of all this, you are trusting the custodian to keep your wallet safe and secure. Now, because of you actually going to our platform, to this platform, for example, that we're currently using, which I believe is the best, and you're actually using it for it to actually, because now they're actually helping you as a they serve as a custodian to actually protect your funds, to actually help you to keep your funds and order to actually prevent your funds or any form of hijack. And so you actually trust them. You're actually trusting the custodian to keep your funds safe and secure. Now, you can also hold your crypto assets in your own wallet by avoiding any trusting of a third party. Now, for example, purchasing your on our platform, you can actually transfer it to our platform and also ensure that your private key and also ensure that your private key is actually very safe. And there are actually four wallets in which you have to actually store your cryptocurrency. Now we have the hot wallet, we have the cold wallet, we have the soft wallet, we have the hard wallet. These are the four different kind of wallets that we have to actually store your cryptocurrency. Now, when talking about hot wallet, what do we understand by hot wallet? Now, hot wallets are internet connected wallet. Software hot wallets are actually internet connected wallets that make it easier to transfer assets in and out. Now, the hot wallets are actually internet connected wallet that make it easier to transfer assets up and to transfer assets in and out, but they are also vulnerable to remote attack. And also we have cold wallet. Cold wallets are offline wallet that makes it hard for remote attackers to gain access, but also it's harder to execute legitimate transfer when asked to go about it. And also we have soft wallet. What do I do with my soft wallets are also mobile or decentralized or desktop application that introduce the risks of attacks from virus and blogs and other. And also that is why most time, if you notice, like our platform, if you notice a form of now maybe 1 month after we tell about this, always an upgrade in the market, upgrade in the system and other, just to ensure, just to inform, just to prevent any form of virus attack or bugs actually coming into the system. And also we have hardware wallet. Now, hardware wallets are crypto specific hardware device that store crypto away from any smartphone or computer in the system. And so all these are actually important factors that we need to actually take note of when talking about the cryptocurrency. How can we actually go about it? What are the different factors that we need to take note of when talking about the ecosystem? So it is very, very important that we understand all these factors. Now, how do you actually in choosing a reputable service? Now, many crypto users or many crypto losses occur when crypto edge or protocol mislead funds, mismanage funds, or experience an attack or hack. As a result, choosing a reputable partner as is essential in securing your digital assets and using external services to hold and manage your asset. For example, now our platform was actually proving over time to be secure, and they've actually been proving that okay, yeah, they actually prove they are not there's no form of attack on the system. They're managing the funds and all that. So all these factors are actually very, very important. Now, DeFi protocol have become one of the most popular targets for hackers. Now, cross-chain bridge are the more frequent targets because of their smart contracts becoming massive, decentralized with position of funds backing the access bridge to the new chain. So when using cross-chain bridge and other DeFi protocol, accessing their security measure is essential rather than relying on size and popularity for as an expo for security and all that. Now you should evaluate each project level of security. For example, do they employ third-party code auditing services of to validate security and that all these factors are actually very very important that we need to take note. All these factors are actually very very important that we need to take note of when looking at the ecosystem. What are they now? Do they actually have a kind of an in-house security team which enough actually expertise which have enough expertise to avoid any or to divert any form of attack and all that? So how secure is the platform? What is their level of security when talking about their platform and all that? Now looking at FTX collapse on the now FTX, what actually happened in FTX, now the loss of funds and attack is just the mismanaging of funds. Is also the common is also too common in the mismanaging of funds, misinformation and all those factors. Now they do not have enough reserve to make customer whole, when talking about the market and others. Now regulated exchange or regulated platform with external audit provide the most security by ensuring ensuring that they follow the rules and possess the access on their chain. However, the proof of reserve mechanism is one of the most crypto friendly way to achieve this goal. Now why they are not quite a kind of reliable for a kind of a third party and all that, they do not measure liability. They continues to involve and eventually become more trusted mechanisms when talking about the ecosystem and all that. So all these points are actually very very important that we need to take note of when looking at the ecosystem. What are they really all about? How can we actually take control of the market when looking at it? So it is very very important that we take note of all these factors. What is the market saying? How can we actually take control of the market? All these points are actually very very important that we need to take. Now what are the common sense and physiology in the market? Now there are some common sense that we need to take note of physiology that is really very very important when talking about the market and order. When talking about the market and what is the market really saying, there are some common sense and physiology that we need to actually take note of when looking at the market. Please, if you're not joining us for the first time, you are welcome. If you get to follow our profile, please can you do follow our profile here to keep joining, so that whenever I'm live you will be signified live whenever I'm live, so that you will miss out on any section as we keep moving ahead. Please, if you're here to follow my profile and you're listening to me, please kindly do follow my profile, so that whenever I'm live you will be signified live whenever I'm live, and you miss out on any section as we keep moving ahead in the course of today's interesting conversation. So now one point that is actually very very important when looking at it, what are the common now many crypto losses rise from a simple mistake that's at a little more caution or kind of let me use the word situational awareness could actually prevent. Now basic security measure can actually protect you from many crypto losses and all that. Now your crypto security is by and large and on your and kind of also on you to manage and all that. Now the adhering of to a few fundamental tips will prevent the bugs of loss of your asset or your cryptocurrency. For example, using your two-factor verification when using a crypto exchange or a platform. Like for example, our platform, for example, we're using right now. Now we have what known called second verification. And even though talking about without the second verification, you can actually withdraw funds, and even though with that also there's limit to what you can actually withdraw when looking at the ecosystem and all that. So now second verification is one important factor that we need to actually using the second verification is actually one important factor that we must consider when looking at the platform or when trying to go into the platform to actually make any form of transaction and all that. That is one important point that we need to actually take note of. And also another one that is actually very very important is choosing strong unique password. Now don't use any kind of password when going into into the ecosystem. Now using ensure that you use a form of a trusted a password that you know that, okay, nobody knows, no one can actually have access, no one can actually have access to it, no one actually trust another. That is one point. Now using a strong and unique password is one factor that we need to consider. And also apart from that one, another factor again that is actually very very important is always keep your private key. Now that is what, because your private key is one of the main factor that they actually look, because if they have access to your private key, they already have access to your wallet and all that. So you have to be very very careful of your private key. Your private key is one important factor that we need to actually take. We need to be actually careful of when looking at the ecosystem. What are they really all about and all that. So now, how to actually prevent people from actually having access to your ecosystem? You have to always keep your private key secure. Keeping your private key secure is one important factor that is actually very very important that we need to take note to actually avoid hackers coming into your system and order to have access to your platform, or your platform that the platform we're currently using. Now also the last one also is actually avoid storing your information in public viewable places, online or offline. Now that is this also factor is actually very very important. Avoid storing your info and avoid storing your information on public or on kind of okay, just imagine you have maybe the page is something, or you have a wallet, or you have a transaction, and you went ahead and post it on an online platform, and they see it and all that. That is because if they just need a key information, when they actually have a very key information about you or about your wallet, they are able to trace, okay, this is what this person is doing. They're able to have access to your wallet. So you need to be very very careful on how you go about your wallet, on what you actually save in your, on what you actually push out there online when talking about your. So, and also one other factor that we need to consider, one other factor that is actually very very important that we need to actually consider also, the one other factor that's actually very very important that we need to actually understand also is you need to be actually be careful of you need to actually be careful of what actually you put out there. So you have to be careful of all these factors. All these factors are actually very very important. That gives you a guide. Okay, this is how the market is going, this is how we can actually take control of the market when looking at. So it is very very important that we understand all these factors. All these factors are actually very very important when looking at the market and all that. It is very, and it's also, it is not just any link. Now a lot of people actually, okay, you saw a link today, you click on it and they have access. Maybe the email that you use, the email that you link to your platform, that is to our platform for example, that is the same email that you use to click on any link that you see. No, there should be your email should have should be assigned to different tasks. Now okay, if you know that, okay, you're using this email for this social task, now that is how it should be. If you know you're using this email for this social task, now that it is not that the same email, and it's not everything that you actually click online. Now it's not everything that you see online that you actually going to click and all that. Now because as long some scammers will actually put some link out there that, okay, because when you click on it, when you sign up with an email, and that email that you sign up with is linked to your bank account, automatically they will actually have access to your account. So because if you click on that link and they actually have access to your account, all your funds, all your assets is actually gone. And so you have to be careful of all those factors when talking about platforms actually saving your funds, how you can actually go about it, and that is very very important that we understand all these factors. All these factors are actually very very important that we need to actually take note of when talking about going about the market space. What do we need to take note of it? What are the various factors we need to consider when talking about the market space and all that? Now crypto scammers can result to significant loss. Crypto scams can actually result to significant loss if you are not careful. For instance, impersonation scam cost an average victim nearly $6,000, while romance scam top 15,000 per victim last year. And also you can actually avoid these scams by being aware of them and practicing the approach with due diligence before transferring or investing in any new opportunity coming on board. So that is actually very, very important. Now, customer and investors loses billions of funds of dollars annually to crypto scams, ranging from mismanaging exchange to DeFi hack and other. Why some of these losses are kind of difficult to avoid? You can actually prevent most of them with common sense and also with common sense and basic security taking a form of a basic security, and when talking about the ecosystem and other. So that all these points are actually very, very important that we need to actually take note of when looking at the ecosystem. What are they really? How can we actually take control of the market space and all that? So that is all what we'll be talking about in the course of today's section. I believe I'll be able to give this to guys enough content in the course of today's section. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everyone that has actually connected live with us in the course of today's section. Please if you have any question whatsoever, you are free to ask on the chat box, in which justice is going to be done. But as sort of any question, we've actually come to an end of today's section. Thanks so much to everyone that has actually connected live with us in today's section. We'll be live again tomorrow for another interesting conversation. When looking at the market. So stay in touch in the market. If you're yet to start trading and using our platform to go into the market, please start involving yourself in the market, because right now is the right time to actually go into the market. And scammers are actually everywhere. So it's not any kind of link you actually click on, it's not any kind of application you actually open or you sign up with and others. You have to be careful of the opportunities out there, and you have to be careful on how you actually invest in any opportunity coming out there. So that is all what we'll be talking about in today's session. Thanks so much to everyone that actually connected live with us. I really appreciate everyone connecting live with us in today's session. See you same time tomorrow for another wonderful and interesting section in our tomorrow session. Bye guys, and enjoy the rest of the day. Stay blessed guys. See you tomorrow.